Welcome back to Automation Empire, and the game's paused right now, as you can tell, lack of audio, just so that I can actually show you some things I've been doing between the episodes. So you can see here I've got 3 separate loops, just to keep the speed down, really, of our claws. Not speed down, more like the, I don't know, the sort of unloading up, more like. I want to basically process them as fast as possible. So this one is feeding out from this line, this one's feeding out from this line, this one's feeding out from this line. Okay, get the idea? Now, inside here, we've got something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 slots and 10 for this, as far as 12 spaces we actually need. So the 6 on each truck, obviously. And same thing here, same thing here. So what I'm actually going to do first is just really extend this. I've not got that many on this side. I've got 3, 6, 9. I actually need more than that. So 10, 11, 12 would be good. And I think I can probably do that. I was going to build like an extra rail here and just send them back again. That's a possibility, but I may just be able to get away with just extending this a little bit. So if we just grab our unload station, and if we just go from here like this, I want to go this way. I want to turn a corner. Can we not turn a corner with unload stations? Well, in that case, I guess I'm going to have to just go for 11 slots. Or maybe, well, we just don't have enough room. Okay, I need to see if I can actually get them to turn corners. I don't think we can, though, so we can just get away with just getting a pickup slot for a claw. And that's where we'll have to go. So we'll just press play, and let's see how these actually go. So here they come in. Okay, so they're going to start picking up. Now what should happen, of course, as these come in, is that it may well have enough backed up to actually pick up everything. So we can probably pick up 12 claws on the track right now, so we can at most handle 2 trucks per loop. We can actually go into research and upgrade that, but I think what I'm going to do first is upgrade the actual speed of our claws. So it's up to 50% speed now, so around they go, and they will be pretty fast indeed. Then we can also similarly upgrade the delay on the trucks coming in, so we should be able to get those going faster. And you can see these are much faster than our drones. Now the drones I took out completely. I've got no drone stations anymore. Hopefully that's a good idea. Who knows at this point? But let's see what that does to our sort of 3-month objective. We're at 4,800, and let's take a look at our research sort of unlocks. Yeah, so we've got a few things we can unlock. The combiner is the next sort of target. It's 500,000, which is a lot, but we've got all the prerequisites ready. So we just need to get to 6,000 kilograms, then we can spend on this when we have enough. So you can see here, I have not got very many research points. Yes, so perhaps we need to just dump research points into some kind of grid somewhere. I guess I can extend this and fit another one of these. It's assuming that these can actually take... No, they're actually nearly full, so they are actually processing. That's fine. Alright, so I'm going to skip for... there they go. Yep. And that one. Yeah, there we go. So it's going to keep on filling from here, which is coming from here, etc., etc. Now, what I want to play around with here a little bit is just to see if we can actually improve this sort of setup. So I'm going to take these out for a second, and I want to see if we can just sort of either get rid of this or just have it internal here. So if we just, for a second, I'm going to leave those there, and I'm just going to see if I can get a container, the small container types, that is, and then we can go like this, okay, and delete that. I don't think we can do it. I think we need one more room, and I don't think I have any room on the outside to do this. What I'm looking to do, and just give you an idea, is take, let's say, a couple of these, and we can, whoops, a couple of these. Let's try that again. Okay, and we can connect them together, so that's easy enough. And wherever we pick up from them is fine. But then we can also do something like create the crate mover, which is, that's the refiner, oops, crate maker, whatever you want to call it. And we can basically feed crates without actually having anything else on them. So these are optional inputs. So if we don't put the input there, we should be able to just basically feed empty crates and then feed basically stuff onto them. But to do that, requires, as you can see, one more room. So we don't have that kind of space, and I don't think I can get one close to the wall. So we'd have to move everything out by one, and maybe that's doable. There's like one gap right there that we could maybe take up. And here we are with it running, rebuild. So there's one less space at this end, and it works. It works. It's not quite great though, because this crate maker can only make one every 3 seconds. So I either need to put 2 in there, but I can't because I don't have the space to get one of the other, what are they called, transfer claws to actually move stuff out. I guess I could just move them back and then transfer claw them on. That's a possibility. Let's try that. Let's pause for a second. Grab a transfer claw. In fact, let's just sell that. We just want a regular step conveyor there. Okay, and then we'll just put basically a couple of crate makers. And we have to put them so that they go there. Okay, now that works, I think. Well, we'll see in a second. Yeah, so if we just have them like that, and then we just have a couple of step conveyors. Okay, have I actually achieved anything? Who knows? Let's press play. And they're both running. There's no input. You can see the train is now being completely unloaded, and that's got 5 cars on it, so we have a lot of extra materials. They're only able to feed onto 2 crates at a time, but you can see right now these are being fed on at full speed, and they should also be unloading into here at full speed. Now you can see the first 2 refiners take all of the goods, but we should get past that now. Yep, because it's hopefully at full capacity. So, yep, on it goes. So the third one's in use, and then they come out this side, come around, and drop out. Now the other thing I could think of doing is getting rid of this one, okay? Get rid of this entire line, and then instead of coming here, what I could do is turn 1 sooner. In fact, we can do turn 1 sooner now. And instead of having an unload station that just destroys stuff around here, feed it back, send it back this way, and back into the start of this whole chain. So basically there's just crates continually going around and around. I'm not sure if that's going to be any more efficient. It looks like we're up to 4 refiners now. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it for a minute or two and just to see if all the refiners have end up being used. Because if this last one never gets used anyway, based on presumably the speed of the belt. Can we actually speed the belt up? Looks like we can't speed the belt up. It only processes at one particular speed. Yeah, so I'll keep an eye on it, and let's see if that's any improvement. Okay, it does get used, but very rarely. And you can see on the output here, you can see these are all queuing, waiting for a spot onto this sort of line. So what I'd like to do is just improve this input end if we actually possibly can. And one thing I was going to do for that is let's get rid of you for a second, and all of you. And let's get rid of you. Yes. Okay, so now we're just going to create a crate mover a little bit closer across to here. Crate maker, sorry. And there we go. That's the right position for it. And then we'll have another one of these containers around here. Yes. So this should unload at both places. So let's just get that going and dump this way. Okay, so it works as before, except these 2 are now no longer connected. However, what we're then going to do is something a little sneaky, just to shorten the path of all these crates to actually send them around. And it helps if I select the right thing. And let's just get a... There we go. So that's going to work as before, except these are no longer connected. But now, what we're going to do is just separate this. Okay, this no longer works like that. What we're actually just going to do is sell that and sell that, then send this as a step conveyor going, well, first of all I want this to be back in place, but then step conveyor going that way, this one going that way. Okay, so now, in fact we can shorten it one further if we wanted to. No, we need it to be essentially full. These are just feeding through empty crates, so that won't work until this starts filling up a little bit more, which we're working on. We're waiting for this to work its way through. We want to just make sure that happens. So right now it's going to be worse until it actually fills up this second container. It'll probably have to bypass this first one, etc. But we should have room to unload about 3 cars on the end. So let's watch it come around. and see how this goes. We're on 60,000 research points. Can we just claim some while that's going on? 46,000, that's another 90,000 there. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to need to just skip on this. So if we just say skip every 2, yeah, let's see if that actually works. Because this is going to fill up, but yeah, there's only 1 crate worth left. So we need to speed up the minecars or get more to unload into this second station. I don't think I can route the contents any other way, so let's just see if this skips. We wanted to skip the first few, really. Yeah, there we go. So the first couple get skipped. And that's 8 crates worth. And this will get the stuff on the way back, so that's fine. Alright, let's wait and see if that actually improves things. We're probably going to get stuck on the end, but I think on the end you'd probably want maybe some extra room here, because if you wanted to do the same thing on this side to shorten the sort of paths, you'd need some way of getting the stuff into 2 containers and then out onto rail, and I don't think we can actually do that at the moment. So yeah, that's going to work just fine, I think, for the moment. So yep, let's leave it alone for a little while. Now, I managed to get a lot more of the iron flowing out. So here you can see it's got 15 in it, and I've got a couple more small containers that are basically, well, they're basically acting as minecart refillers. In fact, we can probably even take these off, because we don't really need them. We just need the minecart to go past both of these, and that's just the way everything seems to turn out to be. Now, I have also just reworked our research bay here so that it is now feeding in just this regular coal ore again, because we have everything we need for the unlocks. This is already counted, so we don't need to worry about that. We can claim each of those, and we've got 235,000, so we just need to get above the limit here. We're at 5,520 right now. We need 6,000. So I think what we're going to do is just rework this section. So I'm just going to get rid of these for a second, and we're just going to get rid of pretty much all of this for the moment. We'll leave where the unload bay is above the trucks, because that's going to need to stay the same, but everything else is probably just going to go. Okay, so they've got only a very small space to work with. Let's just assume we can just go with a small container for now, because I think that's not a small container. That's a small container, so that will go straight in there. At this point, we should be able to feed out of here onto sort of crates, and we want to then need to have crates to be able to be picked up. So just as before, we're going to want those going. So we want a crate maker at least, and I think that's going to be the right position. I'm going to guess there. And then we have we can't build step conveyors. These have to go straight onto unload stations, don't they? That's so annoying. Yeah, we're gonna have to build a factory here, I think. I think we're gonna have to build one, because I need to basically feed stuff out on these trucks. So we have a little bit of room, but not very much. So let's just get rid of you, and let's just press that just to get these out of the way. There we go. So let's just clear that for a second. And clear it all going this way. And we just want a depot at this side. It's just going to be a loading depot. So we have to get rid of a lot of stuff. Okay, that seems to be all fine. And let's construct a new building. Not very much of a building, really. Just a regular factory. And I really wish we could extend these existing factories. It looks like we can't build anything too close to anything else. That's annoying. Okay, I may have to reroute some track at this point. That is very, very annoying. Okay, I'm just going to build something, and we'll see whether we can fit it in there. Yep, that's fine. I want it in line with the rest, so that'll do. And then on this side, we want doors like normal. And I'm just going to put a couple of upper doors in there as well. And then we know our rail can actually come in here once we get a couple of doors on this side. So let's just put a doorway there. And do we want a loop? We shouldn't. Well, we probably are going to need a loop at some point. So yeah, why don't we just go for a loop for this one, because we don't really have that much run to come back again. We don't have width in here to have a lot of cars going through. So a loop would probably be better for that. So let's just unpause again. And let's just re-pause there, because we're going to have to get all of this running through. If we can indeed get a loop through the factory. Let's just see if this will actually connect. So I'm going to need to maybe go here. Yep, let me get inside. Can we loop around? What's the minimum kind of space we can actually get to? Okay, that's looking like the minimum space. And what can we then do with that? We're going to have to unload as many places at once. So 2 spots would be nice if we can load to those. So let's just get those going. We want a couple of small containers, I think, if we can get them. Will that unload there? That's starting to curve. That may not be supported, because we can connect these together like that. And then... No, that's not... No, that's not supported. So we're going to have those separate. That's fine. I prefer that. I don't think they actually share inventory. Well, maybe they do. I guess we could try that and see if they actually share inventory. In any case, on the other side, we're just going to have this filling up here. So we're going to need to go this way. It doesn't really matter which way we go in, but the way we go out is more important. So we're just going to need to fill and go this way. Okay, and let's just sell this. And hopefully we'll be able to join these tracks together without too much of a problem. I tend to have issues doing this. That'll do for a change. Okay, so it doesn't really matter which way that's going now. It's going to fill up. And loops are just nicer for that anyway, in that all of the contents will pass by an unload point. So, will they connect to each other? No, they won't. Okay. Too much to hope. We'll just unload into both of them. Okay. And on the other side, we can then feed them to wherever. We're inside a factory now, so we can dump them onto a conveyor that has crates moving on it. And all that crate sort of stuff is going to do is send stuff. We want to make sure that the crates are full. Is there any way for us to actually do that, though? I wonder. I need to investigate that. Yes, there is. You can see here we have accepted contents, including empty crates. So we can turn off empty crates for these, and these will never ever pick up an empty crate. So that's good. That's exactly what we want, because on the other side, we're going to feed in some step conveyors, and we need to fill these like that. We're going to need to fill this with sort of blank or empty crates. The empty crates are going to get moved off onto an unload point, and then we'll have just basically our sort of sky crane claw system finish that off. So that should be fairly simple to finish. I'm going to choose a crate maker or 2. I want some room for another one, so maybe one there, so one there, just in case we want another one. And that's going to get, well, we need to have some power poles. This should be connected now. Or not. Are you connected? Why aren't you connected? This is a power, unless this doesn't have connection back. Why don't you have connection? Oh, nothing has connection. What did I do? What did I do? Do we have... Are we out of... Oh, we're out of power, that's why. I didn't do anything bad, it's just we have no power. So another power station is what we need. Now we have enough power. Good. That's working. Fine. So now we can feed from this outward. And we will probably just get rid of that. Get on to you. Okay, you get the idea. And that's going to put empty crates out here. We need a couple of transfer tubes. Oh, it needs to go one further out. Okay, that's fine. Transfer tubes. And then we'll just have the step conveyor going this way. Okay, so that's going to get filled up, and then we need to basically reject stuff that is not filled and need to deal with that somehow. What I may well do then is just have this going one further back. We'll just have a connection piece to it, basically doing that there. Okay, and then we'll just be able to get rid of that piece of conveyor, go with a regular kind, like that. Okay, so now we can have the the crate maker, like this. It's going to produce empty crates. This is going to load every crate onto the belt, but I want it like this because I want things to loop around. I want to reject things that are empty and just send them around a loop. So over here somewhere, we're going to have to move stuff onto the final line, and that's probably best to be on wherever we can get a long connection to. Unfortunately, this thing is not very long, but we should have 12 spaces here. So if we have an unload point, let me just pause for a second. Unload station. Okay, and then if we just build back off that, the transfer claw only connects to regular step conveyors. So I can't have that last one because we need step conveyors there. And we'll just have them going like this. Okay, and we'll just have them going like this. Then we'll connect the step, the transfer claw. Why do I keep wanting to say step? Okay, and that will potentially be able to grab multiple, I guess. We'll just have 3 for now. Maybe they'll need more, but accepted contents, we're just going to turn off empty. Otherwise, it'll accept anything except empty. That means we can just connect everything else with just step conveyors. So off we go this way. I should be able to connect that some other way. Oh, no, I need to go here, don't I? Yep. One there. One there. Okay. So only full things should come off this loop. Otherwise, everything else should get fed in. Okay, and everything else will come out to here where we can build the usual kind of crane setup. So we can just build that over here. I'm going to want this to go around about here and then out and then in on the other side to there. Whoops. Come on, connect. Okay, so I think that's everything apart from the pickup points, which we should be able to make. Just click on here. All right, and let's set it going. So we can also put onto this any point we like another crate maker and make sure there's basically enough crates going through here. So I think we are going to need to do that. So why don't we just add that while it's running? Nothing like a bit of excitement there. And we can put it anywhere we like because it's the, yeah, we just have to feed onto it. So that's fine. We can put it in the opposite direction. Put a step conveyor onto it. And then a crane like that, and around they'll go. Doesn't matter where on the loop it is. Why are you blocked? Have I not finished that off properly? I haven't finished that off properly, have I? So clearly I need to just add something there, like that. All right, it's going. And is there any claws on this? No. Okay, max claws. And that is now lining up. So this is a nice distribution station. The good thing about these claws is that they won't just wait until it hits the end here. If they pass something, they'll pick it up halfway along. You may not see that because they're going to be so enthusiastically dropping stuff right now, but we should be able to see it actually happening in a little while once they actually catch up. And you'll see now that this claw train has caught up to the point where it's fully loaded. You see it's already got existing crates on there, and that means it's perfect. It's running as fast as it possibly can. We have trucks coming in, and every time they pop in, we probably have basically stuff to actually drop on them, which is pretty good. So I like this approach. I'm tempted to actually demolish these two factories and have this sort of front end be like a giant factory. And the only point of it will be then to basically load stuff onto trucks as fast as possible. We'll have everything coming in via minecarts basically, and have them at the front end here being loaded using something like this. We can probably compact this a little bit more in that, you know, if we imagine we have this one facing that direction, we can basically run stuff right behind here. So we can save 2. So we can make this 2 shorter, or indeed have other stuff going on. But once we have minecarts able to, we need more width basically, because I need these 2 to be connected ideally. So we need 1 more width maybe. So yeah, having a, I don't know, 5 wide section in each part of the factory, it should be 1 building, be a good idea. So it looks like, I don't think there's any downsides to just having 1 giant building. It just seems to be downsides to having separate buildings at the moment. So if anyone knows any different, let me know. There's any reason to keep separate buildings. It looks like, because there's no way to join them, and if there was a way to join them, it would be amazing. Developer, please make them able to be joined. But otherwise, this thing is running at full speed. You can see basically there is no point where there is any sort of crate that goes past here empty at the moment, but even so, we're guarding against it on these devices. Okay, we've hit our 6,000 kilogram target, and I did that by reworking these buildings. We've reworked them into much the same kind of approach where we have this recycled effect of crates. In this case, instead of making 1 giant building, we're going to do that probably next episode. This is going to be just basically a couple of inputs like this, a couple of crate makers which unload basically the, you know, empty crates, and that means we have a permanent stock in the factory and make sure that everything is running. And on the other end, the same thing applies. The only reason is all of these have no accepted input for empty crates, and we do exactly the same thing here. There's a bit more efficiency in this one because we can connect these 2 because there's no curve to this cart coming in, and because that means I can space everything a little bit 1 block further apart and have them just connected, so I only need 1 of these on input. But it doesn't really matter. Both of these will work perfectly fine and pretty much exactly the same rate. Just, you know, you're just trading 1 of these for 1 of these, the intermediate blocks, but it's all working fine. And we're now, assuming we have enough, well, we have enough of our targets, we just need enough basically points, and that is where I'm falling short. These points should be getting converted, yes, but it's taking them some time, so we may need a few more of these research stations if they're only going to be converting at this particular rate. So I've got 345,000, I need 500,000, that's another 150,000 to go. And yeah, so I guess the other thing I could do is just sort of extend this going the other way, around that kind of a way, and then I'd have extra room for more of these around. Or we could put some on this side of the track. I suppose that's one option, but only have space for 1, maybe. How much space do we have? We don't even have space for 1. And on this side, well, technically we have space for more than 1. You know, we could put those down, but they don't actually connect to each other or anything, so I'd need to just get rid of you, put this in, okay, and that is them all back on and working again. But we need to have a track 1 bit further away. Now this one, yeah, you see this, if I put just loaders onto this track right here and moved it across 1 block, it would sort of interfere with our sort of our process for actually selling stuff. It would take it away from this. Not that these use that particularly much of it, but yeah, in fact we're going to take away from it anyway because it's all coming along from this tank here. What am I thinking? Let's just get rid of that for a second, and get rid. Well, basically put you in here, and then we should be able to just put a new minecart down. It's 1 block further away. Mine track. Okay. And then we'll just put it this way. Satisfactory devs. This is how you can place belt nicely with 90-degree corners. Just saying. Just saying. I want a mode that does that. That would be really, really nice. Thank you. Otherwise, let's just feed those in. And that's pretty much it, I think. Let's just start them off again. I may need to put actually more track here so that all of them need to get filled. Yep. Because if we just increase the number of carts here, I may have a problem on this end because I don't have enough space. This loop is as small as I can actually get it at the moment. I guess we can get rid of this at some point soon, because you see this, it's being used up now because we're moving everything indoors. And we may even have space to unload it all indoors. So I could probably just get rid of this entirely and save that entire thing. Yeah, we're more than happy with that. So let's get rid of you. Okay, and then we just got to make sure this feeds in properly. Let's wait for them to unload. Okay, and let's just take all the carts off that, remove them all. And now we should just be able to hook this up to everything else and save a little bit of space that we can use elsewhere. Come on. Oh, close. I think we can still connect it though. We just have to be more careful on this side. And we can probably run it elevated all the way in. Yeah, why don't we do that? Because that's faster. Well, elevated until we get to the back. Where's our track? Level 3. Yep. That's level 2. Level 3. Okay. Elevated there. Elevated around the corner. And then we just want it to come down onto the final track before we finish. So let's just get that there. Oops. 2 to 1 we want. Yep. Then the level 2 one. And then level 3 straight track to it. Okay, so that will maintain as high speed as it can all the way forwards. Our mines aren't able to produce fast enough. I've got one over here. This is the iron mine coming in. So you can see this is coal. Unfortunately, I'd try to add to it then if I could. But we're going to bring that in. And it's going to stay at full speed now. Yep. And all the way in. Yeah, we may sort of be running out of space at this end. I guess I can have one more piece of track, but that's about it, I think, if we can feed that in. Yep, so maybe that'll get a little bit more. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything, which means I can probably move this out, move these out, and then, yeah, maybe able to save some room. In fact, let's just do that now. Let me just get rid of all you for a second. This is a terrible way of extending things, by the way, but it should work. I just feel horrible about doing it this way, but if we had it like this, oops, one further down, one further down, please. That there, yeah, that's there, and then we can just do this, I suppose. I feel horrible, but I guess this will work. Yeah, I feel horrible, but we can just feed them all this way, and it will just send them all down that line. I guess that's one way of moving things. I'm not sure if that's intended for that to happen, because you seem to be able to move things without ever hitting a track. That may be worth some investigation. If you could just send them down a long line of silos into an actual factory. Yeah, I'm not sure how quick that actually happens, but hey, that does mean we can shorten this track. Okay, and that will let me have more room here. But more importantly, it restricts this to sort of the right kind of area for its building, or thereabouts. Let's just feed that in this sort of way. Like that. Okay, that's all done. And I want to see how quickly this actually feeds through. Will it actually feed there? Maybe there's a limit to stop this from being, because it's, yeah, that's weird. It says it doesn't contain anything, but it contains some this way. Maybe there's kind of flow mechanics going on. Or maybe it just takes time to move through. It is moving through, though. And it is taking from all of them, so, hey, don't know. Put things down in the comments if you've got any particular suggestions there. Otherwise, we've got stuff to claim. Stuff to claim and stuff to claim. We're at 416,000. We need 500,000 for the combining. So next episode we're going to go into the combiner. That's going to be 500,000. and that just takes a little bit more time here, I think, because we don't need any of the specific materials anymore, at least not for the combiner, and we're good to go. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Any suggestions for other people playing through in the comments box below. But I think next episode, this front end is going to become just a truck loading front end, and then we're going to change to reprocessing all of the ores like we have up here. But I think we're going to change across to, instead of having this sort of thing, sort of hack that I've got going, we're going to have both input and output containers for each sort of set of things, and those output containers will then load onto rail proper by going onto like a separate rail line that passes them by, just like the input over here, just for an output line, and then that should be nice and quick as far as processing stuff is concerned. Anyway, got any comments? Put them down in the comments below, and as always guys, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time for some more Automation Empire.